والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Alhamdulillah, my dear respected brothers, inshallah we will continue in our lesson in Nur al-Idah by Al-Imam Hassan Shurun Bulali in the Fiqh of Al-Imam Abu Hanifa, and we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless all of us with tawfiq. Ameen Ya Rabbal Alameen. So in the chapter that we are in, we are speaking about the integrals of wudu. We have covered the integrals of wudu, and likewise we have spoken about the we also mentioned about the sunnahs of wudu. So today inshallah we will go on further to speak about the sunnahs in wudu inshallah ta'ala. So just give me a minute, I will post the text as usual inshallah. Okay. So now we will see, this is we have covered up to a certain extent. In our last lesson we were speaking about the tamami ahkamil wudu. This is where we were. So we will continue from here inshallah ta'ala. Okay. So today is going to be our last lesson, Faslun fi Sunanil Wudu. So this is going to be our lesson today. The author mentioned Yusannu fil wudu'i samaniyata ashara shay'a. There are 18 things, and he mentioned that it is a sunnah in wudu. 18 things. Number one, and he mentioned Rasulul Yadaini ila Rusrain. The first thing is we wash our hands up to the rusr. Rusr is the wrist. This is when we first touch the water for wudu. It is a sunnah that we wash our palms basically. This is the first thing. So when we do this we make the intention, we recite tasmiyah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is number two. He mentioned Rasulul Yadain ila Rusrain wa tasmiyatu. Number three, as-siwak fi ibtida'ihi. So when we want to, before we gargle our mouth, it is a sunnah that we use as-siwak. So this is important in the sunnah. All madhahib and fiqh speaks about the importance because of the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu لولا أن شق على أمتي لأمرتهم بالسواك مع كل وضوء. The Prophet mentioned, if I not for the burden that I might burden my ummah, I will make using the siwak obligatory. So that is why our ulama they mention that it is important that we use siwak. We use siwak when we are taking our ablution. So siwak will increase in rewards. That's what our Prophet ﷺ mentioned, matharatun lil fam wa mardatun li rabb, that it becomes the reason that we attain pleasure from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah bless us with tawfiq. So this is the siwak, we sunnah for us to start from the right, the left, below, right, left, the tongue, tulan, and likewise our upper part of the mouth, internal mouth. So this is the way we use our siwak. Walau bil isba' inda faqdihi. If a person doesn't have any siwak, so now the author is trying to emphasize, even you use your fingers, tamam? You use your fingers to cleanse your teeth when what you call before you wash your face and before gargling. So this is the opinion in the Hanafi madhab, that it is permissible to use even the fingers, and this is what we usually do. But if we have something like the siwak, like a toothbrush or something that function like the siwak, it is better for us to use it. In our madhab Imam Shafi'i, there is a difference between using the finger and using something that is external. Al-Imam Nawawi is of the opinion that you cannot use your finger. But of course these are differences amongst the ulama. But the best, if you do not have a siwak, is to use something like a toothbrush or a cloth. Tamam. If not, any worst case scenario, any use any your finger, but do not any leave the sunnah yani of wiping your teeth yani with something, yani even if it is with your finger. Now, number 4, wal madmadatu salasan walau bi raghfatin. So yani 3 times any gargling, even if a person any does so yani with one raghfa. Raghfa yani is one time yani when we take water like this is called raghfa. But it is a sunnah yani when we do madmada, gargling, we use we do it any 3 times. Salasan. Naam. The best any is we use any 3 times any 3 raghfa. Yani 1 time and we put up any with istinshaq and we repeat it any for 3 times. But even if a person any for example any use 1, but it is still a sunnah any to use any 3 times any in terms of gargling. Wal istinshaq any is putting water any in the nose. So we have madmada, istinshaq. So we put any water any in the nose 3 times. And every time any we put the water, we do istinthar. Istinthar any is to remove any the water from the nose. So it is a sunnah to use the left hand. So we use any our right hand to put in the water, left hand to bring out the water. Wal istinshaq bi salasi raghafat. Yani the istinshaq with 3 raghafat. Yani 3 times any taking any water. 3 times. Then number 6, mubalara fil madmada. When we do any madmada, it is a sunnah any that we do mubalara. Mubalara yani meaning yani we do intense any gargling, not any just putting water inside the mouth, but also yani we move any the water any inside. This is called mubalara, and this is a sunnah. Wal istinshaq li ghayri sa'im, and it is a sunnah also to do mubalara in istinshaq. Yani when we put in water, we put in water any all the way any up to the top. Except and if a person is fasting, because it will break the fast, then it is not a sunnah. Number 8, takhlilu lihya katha. Yani if a person yani has lihya that is katha, yani big beard, then it is a sunnah to do takhlil like this. This is a sunnah, yani to do the takhlil. Now, this is in a situation yani that the water we have already washed in our face. So then takhlil yani is sunnah. But in a situation yani that water any cannot reach our the outer part any of our beards, the part anywhere is wajib and to wash, except any by we move the water, then it becomes compulsory. But this is in a situation where we say that washing any of the face any has been done, then takhlil any is a sunnah. Bikafi ma'in min asfaliha. Yani it is been asfal like this. This is takhlilul lihya. Then we have takhlilul asabi' like this. When we wash any our hands, we just sunnah to do takhlil like this. Taslis al-ghusl. So we do everything that we wash any our body parts, any it is a sunnah to do taslis 3 times. Wash our face 3 times. Our hands any 3 times. Our legs any 3 times. Wasti'abu ra'si bil mashi maratan. But when comes any to wiping, it is only 1 time. The sunnah is only 1 time, but this is with isti'ab. Yani we cover the whole head. We cover yani the whole head 1 time. So if you do it any 1 time, that is any the sunnah. That is a sunnah. What is wajib is 1/4 of the head. That's what we mentioned. Rubu' ras. But what is the sunnah any is that we encompass any the whole head. And it is not a sunnah any to do it 3 times. 1 time. If we do isti'ab, yani we cover any the whole head. So this is any the thing. When comes any to body parts any that are washed, it is a sunnah to wash 3 times. But when comes to body part any that are wiped, it is a sunnah to wipe 1 time, yani encompass. Now, after any we have performed the wajib. What is any the wajib? We wipe any part any of the head. Minimum 1/4. Then he mentioned wa masul udhunain walau bima'i ras. So now when we wipe any our heads, now, so how do we do it? We wet our hands, tamam, like this. We wet our hands, and then we do like this. This is only the 3. This is only the 3 fingers like this. So our 3 fingers and it goes up like this, and then our index any finger. Now we have used any the water for wiping any of the head. Then we use our index finger to wipe our ears and the ibham, the thumb, and need to go back any of the hair. So this is what you call it, the sunnah when wiping any of the ears. Yani we use the same any water that is used for wiping any of the head. And here there are differences any amongst the Hanafi and the Shafi'i. The Shafi'i and he mentioned that you have to use any new water, not any the water that you wipe in your head. But the Hanafis and he mentioned even any if a person use any the water any from the head, he gets any the reward any of the sunnah. Unless any if there is no much any water any on the fingers, then he can wash again and wipe any the ears. So here any the water any mentioned any even any if he uses any water from the wiping any of the head, it suffices any to attain the sunnah in wiping of the ears. Now, when it comes to the wiping any of the ears, there are two parts any of the ears. One is the internal, one is the external. So the index any finger wipes any the internal, whereas the thumb any wipes the external. And then number 13 we have dalk. Dalk any is like this, rubbing. So when we wash our face, it is a sunnah that we do dalk, so that the water reaches any all these places. Tamam. So we make sure that the water reaches any the places any of the skin by rubbing it, and this is a sunnah. Number 4, in the Maliki madhab they mention this is wajib, but in the Hanafi and Shafi'i it is a sunnah. Number 14 is wila, yani to do it continuously. After we wash any our face, continuously we wash our hands, then we wipe our head, then wash any our feet. And niyyah is a sunnah. It's what we mentioned in the madhab of Al-Imam Abu Hanifa. Niyyah in wudu is not compulsory. Yani even if a person takes any ablution by washing of the face, washing of the hands, wiping of the head, washing of the feet, the wudu is valid. Even he doesn't make any intention, but he doesn't get any rewards for the wudu. This is the difference. That is why here the author mentioned it is a sunnah to make niyyah in wudu. Why? In the Hanafi madhab, if you make intention while performing wudu, you will get rewards from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because ibadah that is entitled for rewards is when there is intention. Innamal a'malu biniyat. But if a person doesn't make intention, the wudu is valid, but he doesn't get any rewards, because the Hanafi scholars and he mentioned wudu is wasila, prayers is maqasid. So there is no need for a person to make intention for wasila, because why? Why do we pray? We pray often. Why do we take wudu? We take wudu because of prayer. So prayers is the objective, whereas wudu it is the means for the validity of prayers. So means it is not any wajib for us to make any intention. But tayammum is different, because in the Quran Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned fatayammamu sa'idan tayyiba. When you do tayammum, you have to make the intention when you use the dust. Because the word tayammama in the Arabic language meaning a niyyah. So specifically Allah mentioned tayammum that you have to make any intention. So in a Hanafi madhab, intention in wudu is not compulsory, but intention in tayammum is compulsory, because there is a clear dalil in the Quran that mention that when a person does tayammum, it is compulsory for him to make the intention, but not any wudu, in wudu. And since any wudu is a wasila and not any maqasid, then it is not any compulsory. So this is one major difference between the Hanafi madhab and the Shafi'i madhab. In Shafi'i madhab, everything must have any intention. But here we can understand the easiness of the Hanafi madhab in regard of ibadah. So this is easy for a lot of people when it comes to ablution. Number 16, tertib, sequence. Sequence is sunnah in the Hanafi madhab. It's not compulsory for me to wash my face then wash my hands. I can wash my hands and wash my face. Now, this is again the point of difference with the Shafi madhab. Shafi madhab in the sequence is a rukun. Sequence is a rukun, but in the Hanafi madhab it's a sunnah. Even if you don't follow sequence your wudu is valid. Now, kama nasallahu ta'ala fi kitabihi, because the Hanafi scholars when they cited the Quran, Allah mentioned in the Quran, ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha qumtum ila salati فاغسلوا وجوهكم وأيديكم إلى المرافق وامسحوا برؤوسكم وأرجلكم إلى الكعبين. There are four things: washing of the face, washing of the hands, wiping of the head, washing any of the legs. So he said this tertib is sunnah, to follow the sequence of the Quran. It is not wajib. Number 17, wal bada'atu bil mayamin. It is a sunnah yani that we begin with the right. When we wash any our hands, we wash with our right hand first. When we wash any our legs, we wash any our right leg first. Sunnah. Wa ru'usil asabi'. When we wash any our hands, we begin with the ru'usil asabi'. Yani the fingers here like this. Yani we tap water, we wash any from here down. From here down, not any from up, any down, but from here. Ru'usul asabi'. And then when we wash any our face, muqaddam ras. Yani we begin yani with putting any water at our forehead, not yani from below up. Then number 18, masu raqaba. Raqaba yani is here, the back part yani of our neck, and this is raqaba. And this is yani a sunnah, lal halqum. Halqum yani is this part. This is not the sunnah you need to wipe. So after yani we wipe any our ears, we wipe any our neck. Even in the Shafi madhab also, Al-Imam Ghazali mentioned this in Bidayatul Hidayah. Although Al-Imam Nawawi mentioned this on a sunnah. So we have some differences when it comes to wiping any of the neck. In the Hanafi madhab, it's what mentioned by the author Imam Hasan Shukun Bulali. It is a sunnah. وَقِيلَ إِنَّ الْأَرْبَعَةَ الْأَخِيرَ مُسْتَحَبَّةً. Yani there is an opinion that the last 4 is mustahabba. So there is a difference between sunnah and mustahabba, in terms on which, the emphasis. So he mentioned the last 4 is considered to be mustahab. What is the mustahab? He mentioned starting from what? If we say number 4, starting from intention. An-niyya tertib bada'a bil ula mashu raqabah. So these are the 4 things. So this is mustahab. Is different from the sunnah in terms on the emphasis, but this is an opinion within the madhab. Wallahu alam bis-sawab. Inshallah, in our next lesson we will mention about the etiquette of al-wudu. The author mentioned there are 14 things. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless us with tawfiq. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.